Hey guys, Cam here from 9 to 5 Google, and I have the LG G4c, which in many ways is a mini version of the LG G4. I'm going to unbox it and give you a quick comparison between this and its bigger brother. Now, there's nothing really remarkable about the packaging. It comes with the usual quick start guide, it comes with a removable battery, a wall adapter, a micro USB cable, and some cheap earphones. But like I've already said, the G4c is in many ways a small or mini version of the LG G4. It has a slightly curved display, it has a removable plastic shell, removable interchangeable batteries, and the buttons on the back are almost exactly the same, or at least they do the same thing. Now, I got the white model, but it does come in grey and gold as well. And it definitely feels and looks a little bit plasticky, but it does have a solid build to it. Now, if we peel the film off and boot it up, we get our first look at the device itself. Now, the front is glossy and it's only really interrupted by an earpiece and a front camera on the top and the LG logo on the bottom. And the plastic back is gently rounded. The 3.5mm headset jack is on the top and the USB port is on the bottom. If you compare it to the big G4, then we'll easily see why it cost a little bit more money and why it's the more premium, more flagship model. On the screen front, it's 5.5 inches versus 5 inches. The G4c screen isn't just smaller, it also has far fewer pixels on it. With a 720 by 1280 display, it has 4 times fewer pixels than the Quad HD display. It also appears a little dimmer and colours aren't quite as vibrant. There's quite a difference internally too. The G4 has 3GB of RAM and 32GB of storage, and that's 3 times the memory and 4 times the storage of the G4c. What's more, it has a powerful Snapdragon 808 hexa-core chip versus the G4c's quad-core 410 series processor. The G4 also happens to have more than 450 mAh more capacity in the battery, but let's not forget a lot of the extra power on the processor and battery side is to deal with the plethora of pixels on the screen. At their thickest points, the two phones are virtually the same thickness. There's about 0.5mm difference between them, but the G4 is clearly bigger in hand and heavier too. It's about 9mm taller and more than 6mm wider. The G4c feels much more like a one-handed device than the super-powered flagship, but I have to say the G4 does look and feel better made. The telltale sign for me was in the finish of the buttons and the feel of the buttons when you click them. But then when you compare the finish of the leather back, the placement and design of the rear-facing loudspeaker grille and the chrome edges, it's clear which one of these is the more premium device. What's more, the LG G4 has one of the best cameras on the smartphone market. It's a 16 megapixel with laser autofocus, optical image stabilization, and a dual-tone LED flash. Its smaller sibling has an 8 megapixel regular camera with a single LED flash and no fancy sensors or image stabilization. So overall then, and I guess sadly, the LG G4c doesn't just have the same specs as the G4 in a smaller body for those who want a flagship feel in a smaller phone. It is in every way downscaled. Now, looking at prices for the G4c in the US is a little bit deceptive, since it goes for roughly the same price as the G4 on Amazon, at around $470 unlocked. In the UK, the price difference is a more accurate representation of the gulf in specs and features. The G4c goes for around £217, while the G4 starts at $370, and that's just for the plastic model. I'll leave links in the description box where you can buy them. I've been Cam, I'm at Cam Bunton, and I will see you again soon.